Hello everyone. You might be wondering what's Joe been up to. Well, take a look at the water wheel. It's paused for the moment. It's just well, I don't want to say a solid chunk of ice, but it's a hollow chunk of ice because there's still water flowing. There's still water flowing through it. That's interesting. And it's full of ice inside there too. You can't focus. Come on, focus. There we go. So the entire inside of it is full of ice too. Yeah. Also, I had previously had the spring water running through a hose through this. And, the spring water coming down the hillside, of course it has plenty of time to cool off in that penstock there. You can see that it's doesn't have any snow on it because it's warmer than, snow. I had that water flowing through here, but it's still built up ice. So I removed that. I have the turbine running with the small nozzle right now. And it's basically just keeping the battery topped off. I'm not even really using the power for anything. And then up there, I have set up my ice collection again. I've done this a few years past. Figured I'd do something a little bit different. Previously, I had it set up right there in that little tree right there, shooting over the ditch, because I was like, well, then I'll just stay out of the yard. But then it collected a lot on the trees, and my wife and whatever, we were concerned about it falling down onto the dogs. So we can't do ice collection there. So I figured we'll try doing ice collection in the middle of the yard. And I've had it set up for 2 days now, and there's not really a whole lot to see. I had it previously set up over here, just with a ball valve. In fact, I have it in my pocket, just with this. And I had one of these partially open a little bit, and I was given a nice spray of water, but it was only like this high off the ground. But now this has a lot more distance to shoot. And it's really hard to see on camera. You can maybe see it. There's a whole mist right there. And I was collecting ice here. I have maybe in the middle 4 inches of ice. Snow, something or other has built up. So we'll see how it works. I've been focusing more on, I wonder if the sound, see, I cup my hands on the phone in different spots, and I think that maybe affects the sound, especially with all the road noise that's behind me. So I've been focusing more on doing some CNC router jobs for various people, making a little bit of money with that in the spare time that I do have. Other than that, just trying to complete a few shop projects, like setting my brother up with a well, heck, I can just go show you since you're here anyways. I'm gonna walk down here. Careful not to slip because it's kind of steep. Also, the first time that I had the hose set up, it kind of just made the whole yard underneath ice, underneath the snow. So I just have to be careful walking around here right now. I'm gonna grab my drink. Here's a kiddie pool where the ducks would go. I removed the ice from that once, but it's of course full of ice again. The ducks, they actually built a little bit of a nest right here in this brush pile. So that's interesting. I had to put a new doorknob on. The old doorknob just basically, it pulled off, and I was lucky to get it open. Plus the key had stopped working. Well, here's my shop in its current state. These are all pool chemicals for the spa, the hot tub, and I had dumped it out here because I knew there was a little bit of water. There was a lot of water. It was full of snow and ice, and I was wanting to just thaw it out. So I brought it in the garage here. The garage right now is 55 Fahrenheit, and that's with the radiator on medium. You can see it's, what is that, 14 Celsius. So I was working on getting my brother set up with a table saw, and here's my old table saw. One of my older table saws, and it has a massive Biesemeyer fence on it. It's 8 feet wide. But I recently got a deal on Facebook Marketplace. You can see the two different sizes of Biesemeyer fences here. This is I think it's a shop fence or home shop fence, and this one's a commercial size. So you can see the size difference there. And they're also different lengths too. You can see the commercial one is a lot longer. But that one came with only 5-foot rails, and I can't stand to cut down these rails. Plus it's so huge and unwieldy. So he's gonna get this table saw with that fence with shorter rails, and then we're gonna have to make a new table thing for him. This is a joiner stand that I worked on for him. And I was working on making some knobs on the CNC router, so these would take about a minute each to cut out. And the bigger ones, I kept going bigger and bigger because they have the inertia to spin on their own. Well, not this one, because it's actually supporting the weight of it. And this one is a 6-inch knob for reference. I think this is a 4-inch, and then this is a 2-inch over here. This is a stand that I had built for my joiner, my old joiner, a long time ago. It just has wheels on hinges. Works really well. That goes with, I've been working on a lot of different tool stuff here. That goes with this joiner, which is a joiner that I have upgraded to the Bird Helix segmented cutter head. I'll just move this deep fryer off out of here. So that's for him, because I have a larger joiner and I don't have a whole lot of room in my shop. My brother's also buying this planer off of me, so that's cool. I've been working on this drum sander that I got for free. It's a 24-inch Grizzly. I have replaced the sanding drums with the hook and loop. You can see the loops there and the hooks on the back of the sandpaper. Getting that tuned up so it actually cuts. I was working on adjusting the pressure bars and all sorts of stuff. These are the pressure bar retainers, and there's a spring right under this piece of metal here. And you see there's 2 holes there. I drilled the lower hole to raise this up and decrease the spring pressure on the roller. So there's a spring in there. And decreasing that pressure completely eliminated the snipe. And it doesn't shoot the boards out, so it doesn't do any kickback either. So I have about $50 in this, and that's just the sandpaper upgrade kit. Oh wait, more than that, 17, because I also had to put a proper plug on it. It had a 15 amp plug, but this is a 240 volt 5 horsepower motor, and that takes 25 amps. And I plug that in here, which is my 50 amp welding outlet. So that's stuff that my brother's getting. I had picked up this wood metal bandsaw, and I need to fix it up. This is a Powermatic 65 that I picked up. I picked up this with this. This guy, he just had it sitting out front. He's like, "Do you want the drum sander?" Like, heck yeah. So this was $125 or $150, but it's 3-phase, so I have to convert it with a VFD. What else? Here's the other table saw that I'm using right now in my shop. It's a unisaw. It's pretty nice. It has a here's some doorknob parts when I replaced the doorknob. It has a really slick router table attachment here. It just slips on with these rails or these pipes, and I can take this off and put it wherever I want, actually, if I wanted to. And fortunately the screws were stuck, and the router adjustment was jammed full of sawdust and it wouldn't adjust, so I had to take it off and use a Dremel to cut those screws out. So that wasn't terribly fun. For the longest time on this wall, I had I had some extra plywood from the ceiling just sitting there, but behind that I had a few stud bays here that didn't have any insulation. I took care of that too. So now my basement here is decently insulated, you know, maintaining 55 outside. Of course it's snowing outside, and my radiator just in the last 24 hours has been set on low, and that's the only heat in here. Well, besides, I mean, if you can consider heat, there's a chest freezer way down there, but that hardly produces any heat. And then I guess my computer creates some heat too. And then here's an autoclave for our business, and it's broken. I don't know what's wrong. If somebody is interested in buying this, and you're in it's kind of the northern PA area, let me know. Maybe we can work out a deal. It's obviously not worth a whole lot because it's not working. And then walking around, there's 2 snowblowers here. I got these for $50 for the pair. They both have good compression. And I tried replacing the fuel in that one, but well, the fuel that came out was horrible, and it won't start. I haven't tried taking it apart or anything. It's somewhere on my to-do list. And I got to do more CNC router videos because it's the whole reason I came down in this garage, remember? And like, here's those knob cutouts. There's the 6-incher. It works great. And I'm using a compression 1/8-inch bit just from Amazon, and it's working fantastic. I can do these, this is just 1/2-inch plywood. I can do these in a single pass, and it actually crams the sawdust in here so well that it doesn't need any tabs, at least for the large one. I tried doing one of these small ones without the tabs, and well, here it is, here in fact. And you can see that it just broke loose and then just got tore up by the router bit. So you do need tabs on little cutouts with this compression bit. And I recently got VCarve desktop, proper licensed version, so I can actually do videos on that now. I guess that's where I am with all my stuff going on. And that joiner and planer that I'm selling to my brother, this is what I had to replace it with, and eventually I have to put that on there, but I need to weld in a patch panel there. It's been like that for over a year now. So much stuff to do. And then whenever I'm doing that, because there's no dust collector yet on it, I hook this old blower fan up with those filters, and it actually catches a significant amount of the dust that comes off of that, at least the airborne dust, and makes a huge breeze in here. So, well, that's the end of this video. I have to clean up a bunch of stuff. As you can see, I was moving these toolboxes around. I had those hammers on top of it, and now they're just on the floor because I was moving and cleaning those. Okay, bye. I'll see you guys around later.